Aloha. I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, the senior minister here at Unity Church of Hawaii, and we want to welcome you to this very special celebration of life service for Mary Bacon. And I want to especially give thanks to the Punahou Alumni Glee Club. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. Mahalo. Thank you. That was beautiful, and it's such an honor to have all of you here. And so we welcome you to this warm, loving, spiritual community that Mary was a part of since the very beginnings of the church. This church has had numerous ministers across the years, and its very first pastor was Marie Handley. Marie Handley first came in 1938, and Mary Bacon became a member of this church when Marie Handley was here. When we recently had our 80th anniversary celebration, I had people stand, starting at the most recent ministers, including myself, going all the way back. And I thought, surely there's not anyone here when Marie Handley was here. But Mary was here faithfully, whenever she could be, right back here. And she stood up, and I thought, wow. And such a radiant light Mary was and is. And she would always make a point to speak to me every Sunday, and was always so supportive and effervescent and lively. You wouldn't even know the health challenges that she was going through, because she had this radiant spirit that could not be suppressed by any circumstances. I think of every person's life as being a lesson for us. And Mary teaches me and many of us about how to handle life with love, with music, with dancing. Not to retreat into the shadows, not to be afraid of life, but to live it full out. And I would see her back here every Sunday morning, living that life. I want to read a poem. There's several poems we'll be reading today. This one comes from Dawn Blanding. And this not only fits what she wanted read, what Mary wanted read, but it fits how I think of her. I've tried for many an hour and minute to think of this world without me in it. I can't imagine a newborn day without me here, somehow, some way. I cannot think of autumn's flare without me here, alive, aware. I can't imagine a dawn in spring without my heart awakening. These treasured days will come and go at swifter pace, but this I know. I have no fear, I have no dread. My flesh will turn to ash and clay, but I'll be here somehow, some way. And she certainly is. She certainly is here. This last Sunday, as we were having our Memorial Day weekend service, I was talking about Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, that we are surrounded with a cloud of great witnesses. And that Greek word for being surrounded literally means to be wrapped around like clothing. We are surrounded by our loved ones. They're with us all the time. We may think that they've gone a long, long, long ways away, but the fact is that they are surrounding us and are with us all the time. And so Mary sends her love. Jerry, Kristen, Siobhan, family, family that she created through friendships. She loves you very, very much. That's part of why, through all of the health challenges that she went through, she could keep going. It was her love for you. Mary had a lot of interests. One of her interests was she had a green thumb. She could make things grow. She was someone who loved nature and was part of the Friends of the Lion Arboretum up by Manoa Falls. Beautiful place. One of my favorite places on the island, and she was a volunteer there. And you know that she was part of the Punahou Alumni Glee Club and could spontaneously break into music. You know, she knew all the musicals, and she could just break out in song at any given moment. She would sometimes dance with Kristen. Music was a part of her. And as I think about her life lesson for us, with her green thumb, you are her garden. You are the flowers that she most treasured. You are the flowers that she most loved and nurtured and poured herself into. And you are her musical. You, each one, carry her notes. That first poem about she will be here somehow, some way. Each one of you in your life, in your expression of life, expresses her special music, her special love, her love for life. I mean, why retreat and wait for life to happen? She was out there every day living life to its fullest. Just a few weeks ago, she and Jerry went on a cruise in Germany. Why hold back? What's your excuse? Live life full out. That is the lesson that she gives us. She loved animals. She had a BA in sociology. She was a massage therapist. And there is a memorial set up for the Hawaii Humane Society. So if you wish to contribute to that, it's a wonderful organization. Now, here is something written by a minister, Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we live so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Sorry, I'm seeing her smile. She's smiling right now. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind? Because I am out of sight. I am but waiting for you for an interval, somewhere very near, just round the corner. All is well. Nothing is hurt. Nothing is lost. One brief moment and all will be as it was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again. Her love is constant. It's still here. She's still here. She still sends her love. It was hard for her to leave her family. Hard to leave all of you. She loved you very, very much. And even though my friendship with her was over just the last year, I grew to love and appreciate her. Her spirit of always being supportive and living life fully. And always carrying that radiant smile that I can see right now. As I said, she enjoyed life. 20 years at least of motorcycling with Jerry. In Australia, Tasmania, down Route 66. I've done that. That's a fun time. Sturgis. Snowmobiling across Montana and Wyoming. You know, there's a lot of special things about her. She loved Christmas, would start preparing right after Thanksgiving. I know she was a person who loved to be in charge of those things because it was a time of connecting with the people she loved. And if you think that she would miss this celebration, you're mistaken. She is here. She loves you so much. And she will always be with you. And she's waiting for you. There's one other poem by Khalil Gibran. This comes from The Beauty of Death, the Ascending. I have passed a mountain peak and my soul is soaring in the firmament of complete and unbounded freedom. I am far, far away, my companions, and the clouds are hiding the hills from my eyes. The valleys are becoming flooded with an ocean of silence, and the hands of oblivion are engulfing the roads and the houses. The prairies and the fields are disappearing behind a white specter that looks like the spring cloud, yellow as the candlelight and red as the twilight. The songs of the waves and the hymns of the streams are scattered, and the voices of the throngs reduced to silence. And I can hear but not the music of eternity in exact harmony with the Spirit's desires. I am cloaked in full whiteness. I am in comfort. I am in peace. Know that Mary is in the presence of God, is in peace, is filled and surrounded with radiant light, and sends her light and her love to all of you. Amen. And now at this time, daughter-in-law Siobhan, whom she loves very much, will come and share with us Mary's rhythm.
This is for you, Mary. Mary's rhythm. Scintillating bright eyes, noticing each leaf and feather. Sparkling engagement, drinking in every color. Wicked humor, riding on the edges of a playful smile. Kind hands, making specially appointed Christmas fruit salad. Sweet embraces greeting entry, warmth peeking out in a glow, sharing light across a gray sky. Nature nurturer, shepherding growth, from seed to sapling to majestic tree. Quick body darting into life, hitching leg over machine to embrace the world. Each nuance and shadow and sparkly ocean at a time. Wide views of the world, wide views of nature. Laughter pealing like a gurgling stream caught in sunlight. Song bursting at each encounter. Tripping into newness, relishing tradition and honoring history. Ever ready to dart forth into the ocean of life. And the immersion in the ocean itself. Full of life, teeming with creativity, finding promise in a jewel frog, dancing and prancing at every chance, juicing fun out of each moment, nurturing life in all facets. We love you, Mary.
And at this time, we will have a slideshow.
as you came in at the sign-in table, you might have seen a bowl full of magical items. So Mom, as you know, was a collector of all things and loved to pick up treasures that she found, mostly on the beach. So we wanted to share those with you. If you would like a memento of Mom, please make sure to visit the bowl and help yourself to one of her treasures if you would like to.
And I also want to thank Marcia Fithian and volunteers for putting together so many of the flowers and lei and various things. Thank you. And Diana and Levitt who've helped us. We can do the sharing now.
Yeah, let's switch. So what happened after the projector was an invitation for folks to share about Mom if you would like to. So this is what we're going to do now. So if you'd like to come share about Mom, come on up.
Hello, I'm Reverend Margie Hyatt. I've been part of this community since 2009. And in 2013, we went through a rather unusual challenge here in this community. And I, along with Reverend Levitt and our colleague Reverend Gary, found ourselves in temporary stewardship of this wonderful spiritual ohana, as our minister had made his transition, and while we were then waiting for what Spirit had alive for us next as a community to happen, we were entrusted with care of this community for a short while. And in that period of time, Mary would always make a point to come to me on Sundays and share a word of encouragement, a message of strength, and hope for our future. And ever since then, if she was here on a Sunday, I got a loving smile and a great big warm hug. And I have treasured that about her all of these years. And so I know whenever I walk in here on Sunday, I will still see that smile and feel the embrace of that loving hug. And so today, as Reverend Tim reminded us how much she is here present for us, I invite you to be aware. She may whisper in your ear. She may tug at your heart. She may tickle a giggle out of you, and she may pull a tear. But know that she is here with her heart open, loving all of us every moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Margie. Anyone else care to share? Marcia? Go ahead, come on up. Okay? Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's on. Just hold it close.
I decided to write Mary a letter because she loved and championed letter writing and hated emails. So the evening she passed, I wrote to her a letter from which I would like to share a few words. Dearest Mary, mermaid sister, Honu sister, and so much more. Endearments we would always write to one another. I'm writing to you because you always wrote such copious, beautiful letters and cards to family and friends, most of which I have kept over the years. When I learned of your passing, the memories of you in my life, for as long as I can remember, flooded in and helped to lift my deep sorrow. They reminded me of the huge impact and important role you have played in my life, all starting with you being the Hanai younger sister to my mother and flower girl at her wedding, and I was later to be yours. I do recall the day that you and Jerry were married, of course from the perspective of a 5-year-old, but it was a big deal for me, as my auntie was getting married, my first wedding to attend ever, and I was thrilled to be a part of all your excitement and joy, as well as the cake. My childhood memories of Christmas before my family moved away to England were with you, my mother, my grandmother, and Tutu Beth in the Avapuhi house. Every year that my mother and I returned for her Punahou reunion, I would look forward to beach time with my Auntie Mary. Ever since you had introduced me to the magical world of snorkeling, we were mermaids together. After my family moved back to the USA, our visits to Hawaii increased, and so did our Ohana oneness with you, Jerry, and Kristen. There are so many adventures, traditions, and treasured memories made over the years, which are too many to list here. Let me just say that your love of nature was infectious. Thank you for sharing your love of the sea with me, swimming with dolphins and turtles together, playing in waterfalls, beach combing for heart rocks, and not to forget your love of the birds of the air, teaching me to be excited about terns and returning plovers and sneaking crumbs to cardinals and sparrows at the outrigger. You always knew and taught me the names of flora and fauna wherever we'd go. Coming back to Hawaii from my travels to be with you and Jerry gave me the gift of stability and a welcome home, whether the train whistle and lay greeting at the airport or celebrating birthdays and Christmases at all times of the year, your amazing pot roast dinners, or simply trying to bend with you at senior yoga class. Joining you and Jerry at your coffee bean routine, laying on the couch, binging on British PBS, and of course, coming to Unity Church together every Sunday and dancing and singing our hearts out with my ever-hopeful attempts at harmonizing with your such beautiful voice, an encyclopedic memory of songs, it seemed. I never forget you and Jerry singing duets of old-time Western song. I've never heard that since, and to this day, whenever I hear the song of Waikiki, I will recall you singing it to me on takeoff when flying to Maui. I shall miss your unabashed laughter, your twinkling eyes, your healing hands, sharing your insights and spiritual growth on your healing journey, and being so incredibly brave and strong, inspiring me and us all. You introduced me to the wonders of the garden and the cycle life of the monarch butterflies that would hatch in the front yard, to our never-ending awe, and this is why, whenever I see a monarch butterfly from now on, it will always remind me of you. And if I may use it as a metaphor, you have now evolved from this earthbound chrysalis of life. I rejoice with you on this journey, this ongoing journey of transformation, and like the butterfly, let your wings unfurl, basking in the Christ light and freedom, and take flight for love's new adventures. Aloha, oi, dear auntie. I hear your sweet voice calling, treasuring memories out of our past, memories that will always last. And as in our letters, I sign off to you, love forever and always, your favorite dishwasher, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. And I don't even believe in age, so don't even need to do the calculation that she was 5 when they got married, and July 6th is the 50th wedding anniversary when they got married here in this chapel. Yeah. 50 wonderful years together. Anyone else that would like to share?
Hi. My name is Ray Kurihara. I'm not really anybody, but I'm a barista at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf at Manoa, which Dawn just mentioned. And,
Yay.
and I didn't have anything prepared, obviously, but I think there's just something really special about the community that Mary and Jerry helped to foster at our little coffee shop, and I recognize a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, people that I've been very lucky to, share in this community with. And, when you get a college job, something like working at a coffee shop, they tell you about, the kind of people you'll meet. They'll tell you about making coffee and, different things, but, no one really tells you that you might just meet people that could really change your life. And, Mary and Jerry were the kind of customers that I will always be changed having knowing them. And I just, I'm just really thankful that I, along with my coworkers, had the opportunity to know Mary. I feel incredibly blessed just to make her small, hot, half sweet mocha Americano every day, twice a day. And twice a day, really. I mean, it was the kind of thing that such a cornerstone, such a keystone in our community that, if they were going on a trip, going to Maui, going to Europe recently, she would always make sure to come to the counter and let us know she wasn't going to be there because she knew that we would worry. I would definitely worry. And, I just remember from my position over the counter watching every day, twice a day, Mary and Jerry share their coffee together, reading a paper, reading a book, books that they loved so much. And Mary was always so supportive of me, always asking me about school, my studies in literature, always so excited to hear what I was doing. She was that kind of person, you know, that made someone as insignificant as me feel so special every day when she would come to the side to grab a little cup of water, and I would always ask her, would you like a bigger cup of ice water? I will give you anything, really. And she was always like, no, this is fine, but always thank you. Always thanks for asking. Always with a big hug, random hug. Sometimes she would just come to my side of the counter and be like, I would love to give you a hug today. Like, who does that? But Mary does that, you know? You know, always, like, I would hear her laughter just, like, explode in the cafe, you know? Like, and you always knew, like, well, that's Mary, and her spirit is always there, you know? Like I said earlier, their love of, you know, books, music, and literature. Like, we, if you didn't know, they helped start a library in our little coffee shop that has been extremely popular, and, you know, we're very lucky to say that we will be writing a formal dedication in her memory on our bookshelf so that everyone in the community will remember her significance there. And I guess the last thing I wanted to say is to thank you, Jerry, and to thank Mary as well for... I just remember going home and telling my boyfriend, like, wow, those two people are crazy about each other, you know? And I always think, like, when I'm old and gray, I would just love to have that same that loving energy that just radiates between them. You know, just sitting down in silence, reading their newspaper, reading their book, sharing their coffee and their extra toasted everything bagel with butter. You know, it's just that kind of spirit that was fostered in our little coffee shop community that I'm so lucky as an insignificant college student to be a part of and to have these wonderful memories. And so I thank you, and I really hope, you know, to see you and your family continuously, because you are really the heart and soul of our community. So I just wanted to thank you for that, and thank you, Mary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow. Everywhere she went, she was touching people's lives. That's a good lesson for all of us. Anyone else? I know Marcia wanted to say something, so Marcia, why don't you come at this time?
Aloha, I'm Marcia, and I would like to tell you about Christmas time, and I think you can help me with that. We would get together right before Christmas, and we have a wonderful celebration in the church. And what happens is we all go down, and we get on these wonderful cable cars. And how I got to know Mary was her beautiful voice, because I sat in the back, and I thought, my gosh, she has a voice of an angel. Then to come find out, we had people that we knew of each other, and so on and so forth. So this is the hat that she wore. This is the bell that she wore over her neck. And she says, now, Marcia, you have to keep them in a bag for you, myself, and Don. And I said, no problem, Mary, and I'll bring them back, and I'll have something better next time. So then the next year, we'd have the flicker, flicker, flicker. And this year, I was thinking, oh, we're going to do something even better, and so on and so forth. And then we'd sing Christmas carols all the way downtown. And we would sing, dashing through the snow. I don't sing, so come on. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells are about to ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to sleigh tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. And then we go, what's next, Mary? No problem. And then, of course, we'd sing one after the other, after the other. And then after a while, everybody wanted to get on our cable cart because we were the singers. But anyway, that's Mary. Mary had talent for everything. And to end this, I would like to read something very special to all of you, because this is what Mary would say to us. I never went away. As I sit in heaven and watch you every day, I try to let you know I never went away. I hear you when you're laughing and watch you as you sleep. I place my arms around you to soothe you when you weep. I try to send you signs to know you're not alone. Heaven is truly beautiful. Just you wait and see the party that we're having up here right now. Live your life, laugh again, enjoy yourself, be free. Know with every breath you take, you're taking one for me. I will always love you. I will never leave you. Mahalo, and God bless all of you.
I was a hospital chaplain for 28 years, and I went into a patient's room one time and introduced myself as the chaplain. And the patient said, "Has it come to that?" So, let's have a prayer. So as we take a deep breath, God, we know that where we are, you are, that you are here, and that Mary is here, and that you surround this service, this group, and those who are watching with your love and with your presence. We know that Mary did not like technology. However, we affirm that all is working well and goes forth with grace and ease, and we know that your Holy Spirit comforts, strengthens, and blesses each one here. Jerry, Kristen, Siobhan, all the family and friends we know right now are surrounded in your presence, God, and surrounded and wrapped around in the presence of Mary, that she's with us all the time, that she is joyful, she is filled with love and light. We give thanks for this time together, knowing all is blessed and knowing that the time later, as people gather in the courtyard to share memories and have refreshments, that all is blessed. We declare it to be so, and we give great thanks. And so it is. Amen.
to all of you. Aloha from the Punahou Alumni Glee Club, of which Mary was such a very, very important and beloved part. This all came to be one Friday afternoon. That would be the 4th of May. And we were fortunate enough to be able to go to the Avapuhi Street House and to sing for Mary. We were all able to go in and kiss her and whisper to her how much we loved her. And then we went out and sang. And as our kahu, Lauren, said, we sang her to heaven. And then others said we sang her to sleep. We loved her ever so dearly. She was our go-to soprano, it's for sure. And shortly after we left, Jerry said it was about 2 hours after we left, Mary flew away to be with the angels and to sing with the angels. She will always be with us. Our next song that we're going to do, the ladies are going to hula for you, Ka Beauty A'o Manoa, because Mary definitely was a beauty of Manoa.
So we are going to sing together, Let There Be Peace on Earth and Aloha Oi. And if we could stand, we can join hands. And you can share in some refreshments down at the courtyard. Thank you for being here. Mahalo.